We are at the top of the Mullica River. We're 40 minutes by car from Atlantic City. We're 2 hours roughly, an hour and 45 minutes from New York City. We're 45 minutes from Philadelphia. But we are in the middle of nowhere too, so it's a little hidden gem. My name is Mike Isles and I am the owner of Sweetwater Marina and River Deck.
We walk in here today and it's almost like surreal. Like, we built this. And the average person that comes in doesn't know that this is post-frame construction. My name is Randy Breslow. I'm the general manager at Conestoga Construction.
So we specialize in the post-frame construction type, but we've branched out to other types of construction. I'm Joe Shimp. I'm the president at Conestoga Buildings. Our customers kind of lead us, but we also work with designers and architects and engineers to provide the customer what they want, but we also come up with some unique and interesting ideas on our own, which our customers find to be, one of the key points in working with us.
Conestoga has really migrated away from our traditional build, and we're now a full-blown construction company that thinks outside the box and believes in client advocacy, and we do a lot regarding like build design and help our clients obtain the vision that they really had, and our building practices lend itself to that.
Sweetwater is going to be a market dream for us and Conestoga as well. We supplied all the material, the lumber and the trusses and things like that. So we're all anxious about it and being co-branding with Conestoga on it. My name is Brian Eisenhower. I'm a commercial outside sales representative for Lezzer. Well, Conestoga was a customer when I took over. We did some specialty items with them. As we all know, they have their own lumberyard at that point. And there was conversations about they were looking at getting rid of the lumberyard, but just never went through it.
Well, we looked around at all the lumberyards and said, who has post-frame materials in those 7 states? And it was thin. My name's David Templeton. I'm one of the original founders of the company in 1989, and now acting as CEO of CB Structures. We knew Lezzer from having some interaction with them in the past. Very professional. They're very business-oriented and a good culture. So we approached them and said, look, you guys do mostly residential building. If you'd put in some of these materials for post-frame, maybe we could service in the full 7-state area. 3 of us local businessmen and one school teacher decided this property came for sale that had a wholesale lumberyard on it for the post-frame industry. Within 2 years, we had turned it around into not being a wholesale lumberyard, but to selling finished buildings to residential customers.
The company actually started as a lumberyard, and that was really the basis of this company for almost 40 years. It was hard to think about giving that up and moving away from where we started. I'm Christy Reed, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
We had multiple meetings with the ownership of Conestoga as well as Lezzer, just to see how this whole thing would work. And the one thing that stood out, and one of the reasons why we chose Lezzer, was not just because of the logistical challenges that we had, or they had better buying power, or they had services they could provide us, but it was also a cultural piece. Like, the ownership and the executive team, when we sat together, it felt really comfortable. And it's been, I think, very fruitful for both organizations. And I think we will continue to see that pay off as we continue to grow as an organization. And I think Lezzer is going to be a good business partner for us.
Part of what was key to us was we wanted a culture that didn't clash with ours. We wanted a culture that had some similarities and, based on trust, relationship based. And so when we got to know the Lezzers and what they stood for, it seemed to be similar to our personality as a company and also what we were looking to do.
We're all family or 3rd generation owners of the company. We're there every day, and we really enjoy and value the employees. My name is Casey Lezzer. I'm Vice President at Lezzer Lumber Company.
When the trucks left our location, we don't know what the material is going for or what the projects are when we get the orders. My name is David Lezzer, and I'm the president of Lezzer Lumber Company. When our drivers came back, they said, well, it's right along the river, it's a bar and a restaurant, and you don't think anything about it. And then we started seeing more pictures from the project, and it's absolutely beautiful, and we're glad to be a part of it.
It's a really neat place, beautiful place with the marina and everything else, and Mike and the people here did a great job with the whole layout and the whole building.
It was a really fast-paced project, and they really excelled at doing things timely. You know, change orders, things like that. They immediately get me numbers and immediately help me with the project. Conestoga was the premier pole building company because there's many pole building companies that can't build something as elaborate as this. Their professionalism was amazing. Their project managers are great. Their ownership was great. You know, they held our hand through the process, and their subcontractors were amazing.
Lezzer Lumber was somebody that we thought we could develop a good business partnership with to help us realize our objectives, say, over the next 5 or 7 years.
They put in the materials, obviously, that we needed. They've always been understanding of the commercial customer, that good materials, scheduling, getting there so that the crew's not waiting for materials, getting everything at the job right the first time. They've been tremendous, better than we were.
Sweetwater, I mean, it's just an amazing project. When you put plans together, you hope everything that you design and work towards looks well when it's actually put up. And in this case, I think it hit the mark. For the setting, it's just beautiful.
The one thing I like about the building industry in general is we get to design it, we get to engineer it, and we get to build it. But at the end of the day, we get to step back along with our client and say, look what we've accomplished. We have accomplished. So it's a very satisfying feeling to see the things that we're doing as an organization.